Apex is one of the most reliable and affordable group sets that SRAM has to offer. But I wanted to know which group set offers the most value, the traditional mechanical or the new wireless tech. So today we're gonna do a head-to-head on the same rig with Apex mechanical versus Apex wireless. Access means wireless. We're gonna start this off with Apex mechanical, a timeless setup that's straightforward enough. Although, there was one issue the mechanic was not excited about.
Is this hard?
Physically or mentally?
But first, let's see how this thing actually rides. It's not the gears. I got two ergonomic things I noticed about this group. The hoods have a nice flat area for your palm. It's very comfortable. The other thing is the levers are fat. They're super thick, so they're easy to grip onto. They just feel satisfying. Like when you want to stop, you want to grab onto something. You don't want some dinky little noodle that's like, here we go. I personally hold high regard when the ergonomics of a thing are highly considered, especially when that thing is more of a budget or entry-level, affordable piece. These are considered, and that goes a long way with me. Just want to let me grip on. Also noticing, just straight, almost a seamless line, straight into the hoods. That's fuck yeah. Both groups are set up with Apex Explore. It's a 1x12 speed setup with a 40-tooth chainring in the front and a cassette that ranges from 11 to 44. And this gear range is right in line with all the ridiculousness that you may or may not throw at it. Both have hydraulic brakes, which work fantastic. One of my greatest life achievements is living through the advent of disc brakes on bikes. And it's all set up on this Blackheart gravel bike, which if you'd like a full rig breakdown, drop a 9 in the chat. This might be a tricky comparison so far. Wow. Why are you so obsessed with fenders? And for those who don't want to think about it and just want my straightforward opinion on which direction they should go, I'll let you know that in a little bit. Mechanical worked surprisingly well. Now we're gonna go to CyclePath to get this swapped out for access and get a pro mechanic's perspective on these two groups.
Hey Woody, I brought you something for your corner of solutions.
Oh, that's cool. This will go in our innovation lab.
Okay. What makes a good innovation lab?
A vise and a bench grinder.
Wait, are you taking the cranks off?
I am. Basically, this wire that we're going to remove here, this housing, runs all the way down through the down tube and around the bottom bracket shell and through here and out this hole. And it's a pinch point right here. This bottom bracket is actually forcing that cable down or the housing down. And so I can't pull it in either direction to get it out. So I have to remove this bottom bracket to free up space to pull that out. It's because it's internally routed.
So if it was externally routed, it would be no problem?
No problem. Yep, and also since it runs through the handlebar, I'd also take the handlebar off to get that out, to just get one piece of housing out. Yes, it's a challenge.
So this is one of the cons category of mechanical shifting with an internally routed bicycle frame.
A lot of these internally routed modern bikes, if you have analog shifting, it's going to shift terribly because it's going through all these funky kinks. So that's where something like an electric shifting is really efficient. But in general, I think having batteries on your shifties and derailleurs is kind of gross. What if it runs out, you know, and now you have to wait for it to charge to do your ride? So I think I'm probably more 60-40 of analog to electric.
As a mechanic, would you pretty much say to never run mechanical on an internally routed bike?
I wouldn't advise it.
Okay, so now all we've done is change the shifting. Same cassette, same brakes, same everything. Different levers, different derailleur. Man, the quickest, biggest takeaway is the ease of shifting. Just one little tap and you're in there. You don't have to like coerce it. It just wants to go. Another cool thing that electronic shifting does is you can set the amount of shifts per click from just one at a time, or they call it multi-shift, where you just hold it down and it goes through the whole range. That feature is super helpful. Hey Thomas, you run SRAM Access?
I do, on this bike, yes.
How long does the battery usually last?
Oh, fuck. I don't think I've ever found out. This one's probably been in here for 400 miles.
These batteries last for months. And then when they start to get low, they'll let you know. They turn red, and then you can still ride them for a long time. So the whole like, oh, your battery's gonna die thing.
Yeah, and they're this big. I just keep one right here, and I always have one with me.
And then I don't even carry a spare, never. I just don't. Although there is a small battery in the shifters, which best practice is to take and replace at least once a year. Or do what I do and put one in your repair kit. Then you just replace it whenever it actually dies. How often do you charge your Access battery?
Once every probably 2 months.
And then how do you know when it's time?
I usually ride it till it dies and have a spare on me.
Okay, shifting under load. Think of it this way. Apex Mechanical gets mad at you. Apex Wireless gets kind of annoyed. Red Access could care less. Sun is obviously going down. I've been riding all day on this setup. Key takeaway for the day is the Access shifting is just smoother than the mechanical. Push a little button, pops into gear. Very fluid. Okay, I've gathered my notes, and here's what I've concluded. The Apex Mechanical weighs in at 2,882 grams. Compare that with the Access, which weighs in at 2,900 grams. It means the wireless is actually heavier, although the difference of that 18 grams is equivalent to 3 sheets of paper. So I'm gonna call that a net neutral. Now let's talk about price. And this category also surprised me. The price difference between each group set, which includes shifters, brakes, cassette, derailleur, and cranks, for the mechanical, it's $634. And the wireless version comes in at only, what is it? $759, which is a difference of only $125. And that honestly blew my mind. I thought there would be a bigger gap between the two. And what this tells me is that the future is wireless. They're almost phasing out mechanical to push us towards wireless. But that doesn't mean mechanical is obsolete. You never have to charge it, it's easy to work on, and if you don't have an internally routed bike, setup is very straightforward. While wireless works on any bike, the shifting is phenomenal, the batteries last for months, and it's even easier to set up. Plus, all SRAM Access works with all other SRAM Access. It's all cross-compatible. So you could get a new red Explore derailleur and run it with these shifters. That's just cool. But you do have to monitor and maintain those batteries. Everything has give and take. It's just about choosing which things you want to give and take. Ultimately, I am curious to know which side of this line you fall on. Are you a mechak? or a digi blippy blop? Let us know. Okay, after trying all of this stuff, if I had to make this decision, I would lean towards the wireless. The price is not that much more. The ease of use is really unmatched. The multi-shift is worth it on its own. I just think that's the future, and that's the way I would lean. Now to round out your affordable gravel rig, you'll have to watch this video where I talk about this saddle, which will save you over $350. Yeah, 3D printed. I've ridden it for well over a year, and I'm still running it. I rode it for like 9 hours yesterday. 9 hours is a lot of anything.